Welcome to the channel and happy Saturday. Today is episode 1 of running a resort while I'm living alongside the owners here at the Robin Hood Village Resort in Union. We're closing on this in about 26 days and super stoked to do so. And as I've lived here for the last week, want to share some of my recaps for episode 1. And most of the recaps revolve around time management. Now, a lot of people are chatting with me about, okay, how did you do all this in just a few years? You must have been really diligent and you must have really managed your time well. And I thought the answer to that was originally yes. However, looking back on it, there was a lot of moments where I got really relaxed. I was doing a lot, but I could have done a lot more. And I realized that when I saw the systems in place here at the resort. They run a whole resort on 9.5 acres in 12 hours a week. Now that is absolutely phenomenal. That comes down with upgrading, that comes with maintaining all the lawns, flipping all the cabins multiple times a week as people come and go. And there's 20 spaces. It's absolutely incredible. But a saying that I heard from the owner and that I'll remember forever is projects will fill the time allotted for them. Meaning that if you give yourself an hour, you will find projects for that hour. And if you have 4 hours set in a time period, projects will fill the time that you give it. So if you're doing management by walking around, you're looking at the campus and you're saying, okay, this needs worked on, this needs worked on, but I have 4 hours set where there's no phones, no nothing. You're gonna get a lot more done. And as I built up my career in the real estate investment space, I started buying rental properties. I didn't look at it like that. I saw an opportunity and then I pursued it. And my go-to saying is it's either going to work or it's not. And I've said that a lot. It's either going to go well or it won't. And looking back on it, if I had just set strict times of I'm going to do this from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. and we're going to get as much done as physically possible, no distractions, probably would be a lot farther than I am today. And I was looking at it as the resort versus the multifamily or as the brokerage. I never operated my business like that. And then you think, okay, well, 12 hours a week, that's only 12 hours. You can only do so much. And so you got to add a team. And the takeaway from looking at the teams here is you've got 10 people working on site. So it's not just 12 hours a week, it's 120 hours a week. You're not limited to 24 hours a day if you add people. And if you're trying to build your business right now, trying to potentially get into a resort, trying to do the seller finance thing with apartments, it's not about just managing the resources that you have. It's about setting the target and then acquiring the resources you need to hit that target. If you just manage what you have, it's going to be very difficult to scale because you don't have all the knowledge yet, most likely, and you probably don't have all the capital you need yet. And so instead of trying to manage just what you've built, yes, you have to be an excellent manager of your resources and time, but you've also got to set your target and then figure out how to go acquire those different skill sets, acquire the different people that can help you get to where you want to go, and acquire the resources. Potentially it's just working capital to go do things you want to do. And as soon as you build all that, you go build your pieces, then you got to build your board of directors. And this is something I hadn't thought about at all before really coming here. I was talking with the owner and I was asking him some questions about debt and equity, and he's like, okay, well, who's your board of directors? And if you haven't built this out yet, as you start building out your portfolio, it's something you should think about, and something I wasn't thinking about. But really building out your go-to team of your attorney, your tax guy, your lender, your insurance person. Building out that team where you can just call them up, sit down, grab coffee. I don't have that team yet. So if you're watching this and you're one of those people, I'd love for you to reach out. I've got bits and pieces of the team, but I'm not sure they're the forever people yet. And so I hadn't thought about it at all. And I learned from some stories of going through billions of dollars worth of transactions and deals from the owner, and going from huge successes, having some losses, There's been some amazing stories that I couldn't even fathom before I got here. Just way bigger numbers, way more zeros, way more teams. But once you figure out how to manage your time, you manage your pieces, and you break down 95% of all your activities that you have to go accomplish into 12 hours a week or less, you can get a ton more done. You can focus on your health, and you can start building out that team so that you don't have to just rely on yourself anymore. In the beginning, you do have to kind of scrap it out. You have to pay your bills. You have to be able to put food on the table. Very difficult. But once you can get past that, it's really vital to start building out a team and not just thinking about, okay, what do you need, but what do other people need, and what would it take to take it to that next level? And usually, if you can break down your business into 12 hours a week where you're accomplishing 95% of the tasks, it's called the 95-12 principles. If you can outline that, you get back all of your time and you can start building out your team. And so that's what I wanted to share as far as recaps go. As far as actual footage of the resort, this week we ended up moving cables around. We got the whole parking lot re-graveled. We got to go on the excavator. We got to dig up some trees, move those around. And so I'm gonna clip some of those videos on the back end. We'll see how that does. We don't edit, so I'm just gonna throw those in here. But if you like the channel, if you want to check this video out, check out the rest of the videos that are going to be following, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to see something specifically at the resort or you want to come hang out, just put it in the comment section below. Had a lot of people come visit this week, and I'd love to see you here. So check these out. On the roof, moving cords, because we're moving the security system all the way around, and cords are everywhere. So if you've never done this before on a resort, know that set it up right the first time and don't put it in a living space. Moving all these cables from across the roof so that we can take the security box and TVs out of the pub so you guys can stay there next month, and put it into the laundry room. And in case you don't know the story, feel free to pause, screenshot, and check this out.